The Chris Rock Show on Netflix. Who has watched it? I have. Showing my hands. I would encourage you to watch it if you haven't. And I will tell you that if you're sensitive to language, it might be a little abrasive to your ears. But the stuff that he talked about, I think, is pretty important, and educational even. So what I mean, he talked about a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff that he mentioned as he was talking about it, I got super uncomfortable. I'm a pretty conservative person, and I do have pretty thick skin as well. But there was some moments that I was just like sinking into the couch, going, "Oh, where is this going?" And then, boom, like a bolt of lightning, like the resolution to what he was saying was made me leap out of the seat and almost cheer. It's pretty impressive. But one thing that really struck me, and I think it ties into things like what I'm doing at this very moment, being on Facebook Live, and I'm on most social media platforms. Pushing YouTube. Facebook works really, really well for me. And what I mean works well for me as far as promoting being a drummer and music. And I had mentioned last week or the week before, like being on the radar, because I would really love to go tour with a band like Tesla or something like that. I want to create a big enough name for myself that at least I would come up in conversations when a band needs a drummer. So all of those things kind of, go hand in hand. But going back to Chris Rock, one thing that he talked about was social media. And he said there's 4 ways to become famous, I guess. He said the number one addiction in America is attention. And like below that is like an opioid addiction. But the number one addiction in America is attention, like drawing attention to ourselves. And yes, to some degree, I'm drawing attention to myself, and I have reasons for that. So Chris Rock said, the number one way to get attention is to show your ass. Let that sink in for a second. Show your ass. So we know that, these platforms are full of girls doing just that, and some guys, and they're gaining attention. And some of my musicians friends on here can attest to, music is our art. It's our way of painting, so to speak. And you put all this work into that. It's like our little baby, You help to develop and become a thing that you enjoy, and that you hope other people enjoy too when you put that out there. And you put it out there, and it's little to no attention. Like, nobody cares. Maybe they do. But if you show your butt, you're going to get a lot of attention. So Chris Rock says, show your ass. That's like the number one way to get that addicted attention. Show your ass. Number 2 was to be infamous. He said, do really messed up stuff. Like horrible, messed up things that you're going to draw attention because what you're doing is so out there, and so like people would think, who in their right mind would do those kind of things? So be infamous. So show your ass and be infamous. Another way to gain attention is to be the victim. And I see some people on these platforms being the victim. Like the universe is against them, or things are just never going right. And it could be little things too. I mean, that could tie back into the no complaining, no opinions kind of categories, right? That, you're always posting out there how horrible your life is, and being the victim. Like, that's another way to gain attention is look at me and how terrible my life is, and how bad things are going for me. And people get attention from that. I know some people personally who without even social media, just in social circumstances, they go on and on and on about their medical conditions, and how many medications they're taking because, one's counter. I mean, that's another rabbit hole of garbage. So being the victim. And then Chris Rock said, another way to gain attention is just to be excellent at what you do. And he used Serena Williams as an example as being one of the greatest tennis players in the entire world. Well, she didn't get there by doing the other three things. She got there by being excellent. But to be excellent is a lot of dedication, and it's a lot of discipline, and it's a lot of hard work, and you got to get up and attack that every day to be excellent. Or it's just easier to show your ass. I mean, this is all Chris Rock talking, okay? So anybody that's free, well, Fred said ass on the one. Okay, let's not complain and gossip about that. Yes, I did say that. So if you haven't watched the Chris Rock Netflix comedy thing, it's funny, but it's from a very serious point of view. Don't watch it with your children. Unless they're grown children, maybe. But like I said, it can be pretty abrasive, and there were parts that made me just sink into the couch because it made me so uncomfortable. But, man, the man has a point on so many things, and the culture that we live in. And so I think it all kind of went hand in hand with, what I was saying last week about not complaining and not having opinions and gossiping and yelling. Now, when I'm in the car driving with my bandmates somewhere and we're having a conversation that's a private conversation, there's 3 or 4 of us having a conversation where we might be sharing different things that are going on in our lives, and all of us have struggles and all of us have triumphs and those kind of things, and so we can talk amongst ourselves and have support that way rather than blasting it to the entire world in a couple sentences on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and we've all seen it. So I would encourage you to just post positive stuff and leave all the other junk to your private group of friends or family. I mean, it's worth a try, at least. So, and part of, going back to, kind of this platform is a way of self-promotion, and I want to do it in a way that's, do I want to say humble? I want to be humble, but not egotistical, I guess. I want to let people know that I have a certain skill set and a certain personality and those things, and I think I'm pretty real on here. But, because I'm looking for opportunities. And another musician friend of mine just recently got this amazing opportunity, and now he's going to be part of a national touring act. And this is a person that I've gotten to play music with off and on over the last few years. And he's really quite amazing at his instrument and what he does. So he has that going. He has the ability going for him. But this gig that he got looks pretty promising in that it's going to be kind of a long-term deal for him. But it's all a result of his hard work. He put in a lot of hard work, and he made these networking connections that go back 15, 20 years. He made these connections that long ago, not with the intent that he would have the results with those people right now, but he just became friends with them, got to know them really well, ran across them off and on as you travel around and meet different musicians. And when this spot became available with this band, they said, "Who do we get?" And they said, "This guy. That's we need to see if he's available." And so there you go. And he's went and did a few dates, came back, played a few dates here that I got to play with him, and now he's leaving again this week, heading back and hitting the road for a few weeks, and then he'll be home, and then the cool thing is that he still gets to come home frequently. So, being on tour is an awesome thing to be on the road. The longest I've been on the road was 7 months, gone from home, gone. Not here, gone, 7 months. Of course, I was a little younger then, and sometimes there was 3 people to a hotel room. Other times there was 6 of us to a room. But, we were young, and we would do whatever we needed to do in order to stay on the road. And it was awesome. Awesome to be on the road. And the longest I've been gone on tour while married, and I think Mary and I had just been married a little over a year. I left for 3 months to go play with the band from Michigan and toured for 3 months. Then I spent 3 days riding home on a Greyhound bus. Who's ridden on a Greyhound bus? I have a few times. It's hard to implement no complaining or opinions when it comes to riding a Greyhound bus. It was. I came home and I had a double ear infection, and I had bronchitis, I think. Oh man, that was a miserable trip coming home. But hey, I did it. It was fun. The tour was great. And ever since then, the longest I've been gone is maybe 3 weeks. And I'm getting ready to leave with Cliff at the end of April. I'm going to be gone almost a week doing shows with him. It's a beautiful thing. So let's see. What I told you I had a bunch of stuff I was jumping around. But, going back to Chris Rock for a moment when he was talking about like a way to get attention is just to be excellent at what you do. And that's a lot of, you got to get up in the morning and start doing the work. And so, like my friend that just got this gig, a few people know about it, and they've been messaging him and calling him and emailing him about, you're so lucky. Like this thing just fell out of the sky and he just happened to be in the right place at the right time, which is not the case because he built those relationships. And people he hasn't interacted with in years are coming out of the woodwork, not to congratulate him, but to quiz him like, why do you deserve that when I was available too? Or now that you're on the other side of the fence, can you get me on the other side of the fence? And it's just not the way that it works. I used to kind of think that did too. Like if I knew somebody on the other side of the fence, they would grab me and pull me over. There's no reason to grab you and pull you over unless they're aware of you, unless they know who you are and want to know that, not can I not only be on stage with this person for a couple hours a night, can I be with this person day in and day out for days or weeks or months at a time? And that's a whole nother component to that whole scenario. So, it's really where preparation meets opportunity, as a way to describe luck, I guess, is that you're doing all the work so that you can be prepared when that opportunity comes along and networking with those people. So, and some people are super uncomfortable doing that. And another thing that I tell my students, especially the ones that have been performing and playing out, they get nervous. They get nervous being in this room with just me. I'm like, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to criticize you. I'm here to help you improve. And they get nervous nonetheless. And so I tell them, I'm like, look, being nervous is okay. It's not a bad thing to be nervous necessarily. It's that you're just getting out of your comfort zone. And I've been in the mindset over the last couple years that the more that you can get out of your comfort zone, the larger your comfort zone becomes. So if you're used to being in this little space, you're just too scared to get out of it, but then you step a little bit farther and now your space keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So getting out of the comfort zone makes your comfort zone larger and more comfortable. So